Brandon Cutler here from AEW, and I hope you guys have an awesome podcast with the MonsterCast.
What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful here. You're watching the MonsterCast with Jack and Ryan. A big shout out to those fellas. Good people. Check them out.
Here's your hosts of the MonsterCast, the Straight Edge Monster Jack and Ryan.
Okay, so let me go ahead and let me get the good out the way. The good, the first match. Wes Lee and Dijak. That's it. Okay, that's it.
You didn't like the cage match?
No. You liked it?
I didn't think it was bad.
Just because you don't think something's bad doesn't mean you liked it.
Did you think it was bad?
I didn't say it was. I'm not saying the rest of the show was terrible. I just say, okay, so this is their first show on the road since what, 2021 or some shit, right? This is their first thing since the COVID shit, away from Full Sail and whatever the hell else that they had going on in Florida. This is what you threw up there. This was nothing close to. It was just a bad show. I feel bad for people that bought tickets to it. Honestly, is what I do.
Okay.
And it's in North Carolina, so it doesn't shock me that they didn't really give a fuck what they put on in front of people, because I've been to North Carolina shows, and that's usually how that goes. They don't give a fuck about North Carolina. All right? So, let's start with the good. Let's talk about Wes Lee versus Dijak, because that match was that's NXT Gold match, right? That was an NXT Gold match. That was great. I do think that I would have preferred Dijak to have the title, to finally get a title, but it's okay. It's not a deal breaker or anything that Wes Lee kept it. And the only thing I would say, I would give that match a 4.75 star rating. And that the only reason I'm docking it to 0.25, honestly, is because of the fucking interference from the goddamn Italian goons for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
You literally pushed the dude out of the way so you could get moonsaulted on? That makes no sense. That one little part of the match took it from a 5 to a 4.75 for me. It made no sense. But the match itself was fucking amazing.
Yeah. I didn't mind the ending. They had to give a reason for...
I like that they're setting up for something else, right? But the way that they did it didn't make any sense. Just like the way that they set up for Apollo Crews versus fucking Dabo Kato made no fucking sense. That was so dumb. What? So you pull this dude off, you high-five the other guy, he ends up losing anyway, and then you go in there to help him up, and then you fuck him up. What the fuck? What? Why didn't you just come in and cost him the fucking match? You should have just cost him the match to protect Apollo. Oh my god, that show's so... And I like Carmelo Hayes a lot. But 2-0? You don't think you would have got more heat on Dabo Kato if it would have been 1-1? And you cost Apollo the match? Come on, dude. That was... I don't know who the fuck booked that, but god damn, that was terrible. Alright. The NXT Women's Tag Title match. Right? Are you fucking kidding me? You got the longest reigning NXT women, or just women's tag teams in general, the longest reigning ever. That's on the main roster and in NXT. They've been together since pretty much their fucking first day together in NXT, and they lost to two random people that got put together in this stupid storyline that don't get along. What?
You know, it's so sad that WWE has to take all these AEW rejects and push them on their card and make them champions. Just, can't build up their own talent. Pathetic.
I don't know if it's just because I have a very deep admiration for Kaden Carter, and she took the pin, which broke my heart on this Vengeance Day. But Jesus Christ, that made no sense. All right, let's keep going to stuff that makes no sense. Now, I will say that the Gallus winning made sense. I will say I don't have a problem with Gallus winning the tag titles. I don't have a problem with them winning the tag titles. I would have preferred Pretty Deadly, honestly, because Pretty Deadly is the ones that lost the titles to New Day, I believe, in the first place. So I would have preferred them getting their titles back, and then it just being like a blip of New Day coming into NXT, and then they go back to the main roster, and now we can just... It was kind of like a pause on the division, if that makes sense. And now Pretty Deadly can keep going forward as the champs, and they can lose it to whoever down the road. So I don't have a huge issue with Gallus winning, but I would have preferred it to be Pretty Deadly. By the way, Booker T on commentary. I know we talk about this more than once, but here's the thing with Booker T on commentary, you can't make fun of the other commentator. I forgot his fucking name. You can't make fun of the other commentator for paying attention to Kofi Kingston's hips. You made fun of him for it. And then you proceeded to literally drool over Pretty Deadly's ring gear. Right? So, like, what?
The jackets were cool, though. The jackets were cool.
But when they took it off, they had the gold things on. And, like, Booker T, like, just, like, salivated in his mouth over there on the commentary. Like, what the fuck? Like, you were just making fun of this dude for paying attention to Kofi Kingston's hips, but then you got the cartoon hard eyes out for Pretty Deadly when they took their jackets off. Like, what? Come on, man. Anyway, I thought that was weird. So you don't like Gallus winning then?
Not really. I mean, they weren't. I think it should have been Chase U.
Oh, I will. Come on, dude. Really? Chase U is terrible. Terrible. And you already knew they weren't going to win anyway because he was in his hometown, and that's not how WWE does things. So it doesn't matter. As soon as they said he was from fucking that area, from North Carolina, he lost. That was it. All right, what else was there? There was the I'm not just missing the cage match, right? Is there another one I'm missing? Oh, the women's match, the triple threat. I don't have a problem with Roxanne winning. It makes no sense to give it to a tag team, half of a tag team member. So Roxanne winning didn't bother me, honestly. I think it more bothered me that it was a triple threat, and you played the whole I'm tag team partners with this person, but I don't like them now, but I kind of like them in the match. But then if we have problems because we know we're going to have problems, that's overplayed to me. I would have preferred it just to be one-on-one, and then possibly like if it was Gigi Dolan just versus Roxanne, and then JC Jane accidentally hit Gigi, and then the next show or a couple of shows down the line they got JC versus Roxanne instead, and she can't get the win because of another miscommunication, then you can just move on from it and Roxanne can get moved on instead of just beating them both. Because in any other scenario, like logically speaking, it would have just been, hey, we're gonna beat the shit out of this person. like Seth Rollins and Cena versus Lesnar, right? In the triple threat, they just fucked him up, and then they went to go have their own match. Why does that not just happen? Especially when you're already together and you're supposedly friends.
And you literally come out together in the entrance. Like,
yeah, so I didn't like that. I mean, I didn't have a problem with Roxanne winning. I just didn't think the setup was there. I didn't think it made any sense. And then of course the cage match. I'll throw you the cage match since you liked it more than I did.
I thought there were some cool spots in it. I like the big superplex. I did like I did like Waller coming out with a chainmail hood too. I don't know, man. I didn't think it was like a great cage match or anything, but I do like that. I do like the no escape bullshit. I like them going back to the original point of the cage match is like the person can't leave, so you have to get a pin or submission just like a normal match, but no escape bullshit. I think I've told you before. I fucking hate the escape shit, especially the door escape. It's just the dumbest shit. I hate when they book it that way. I hate when that's a thing. So maybe that's part of why I liked it too. Was just like it was what the whole intent of the cage match originally was. Now he still tried to climb out at one point, but then he got superplexed for it, so I was fine with that. I just don't. I don't know what you do with. I mean, I know that they set up the whole thing for Hayes or whatever at the end, but I don't think he beats Breaker either. So I think they're running into an issue now where they don't really have anything else for Breaker to do.
I mean, what's the next step? Joe Gacy again? Like what?
Yeah,
I mean, I
like they don't have anybody with there. Yeah. Davocado after he beats up
Dijak after he just lost anyway, so it wouldn't make any sense anyway. Kind of like he did with Keith Lee constantly.
Yeah, they don't have much for him to do after this. I mean, it's not like Grayson Waller was really a great opponent either. Huh?
Dragon Lee?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They're probably going to say that he's a cruiserweight and he can't fight big dudes. Even though
they don't have the title anymore, so they can't pigeonhole him now. But apparently there's visa issues with him. Like, I guess there was talk of possibly bringing him into the crowd or debuting him at last night, but he's got visa issues that they're trying to work out at the moment. Okay, so overall grade for NXT Vengeance Day, and keep in mind that this was supposed to be one of their main shows. This is like a PLE. This is NXT Takeover. This is supposed to be like a takeover thing. They traveled and had a full stadium for this, If you win, what was this? What was this? Go ahead.
I didn't watch all of it, so I don't feel good grading it. That doesn't make sense to me.
Come on, man, I told you what happened.
Yeah,
I told you what happened. Come on.
But there were a few matches on I didn't watch. I don't know.
D plus.
From what I saw, it's like a C. Now, if the other matches were really bad, then yeah, it'd be lower. But it wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't
D plus,
unwatchable.
and it's literally just for the Dijak Wesley match. That's the only thing that saved it from being an F. D plus, dude.
I'm surprised you didn't like the cage match more. Like, it wasn't a crazy good cage match or anything, but it wasn't like, it was fine. It was a good match.
I don't know. I still think
we might be spoiled though. I think we're at the point now where, like, if it's not fucking
NXT go, well, yeah, NXT. I mean, who's paying to see that? Like, if you're a hindsight, you watch that and you could go back in time and you had tickets and you'd be like, hey, am I still buying these tickets? Fucking no one's gonna be there. No, the show was not worth traveling to see. Sorry.
Well, okay, but the people that live there didn't really travel to go see it, and then also the tickets couldn't have cost that much, right?
Fuck if I know. I don't know.
If they were like $20, I'd probably go.
Just to have something to do, but I wouldn't be paying attention to it. I'd be just hanging out with friends or whatever. Like, you know, like just something to do because it's cheaper than bowling.
Dabba-Kato! Fuck yeah, bro! Dabba-Kato's back! Yeah, I don't know.